Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that we linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. We are live today. I thought I'd do a live show. I haven't done a live show yet on Transfer Daily this season, and I thought, let's go live, man. Let's have a little chat about some of the transfers. Of course, the Euros are starting, and we got off to a great start yesterday. Italy looked impressive yesterday. 3-0 winners over Turkey. And really, honestly, they destroyed Turkey. They really, really destroyed Turkey. A player from Turkey that I was sort of really taking a look at yesterday. And if it was a scouting mission, it didn't go well for him. And that was Zeki Celic. Plays for Lille, of course. Arsenal being heavily linked with him. He's valued around about £30 million. He got the runaround in the game. I'm sorry. He got the runaround in the game. If that was, I don't know, how do they say? If that was the audition for Arsenal for him, it didn't go too well. It didn't go too well as well. He got the runaround. Listen, he had a great season for Lille, and they all kind of got the runaround in that game. But yeah, Zeki Celic, a player that's been linked heavily with Arsenal, and yeah, not the greatest. A lot of links out actually today to Arsenal with quite a few players. First of all, this guy, Rodrigo de Paul, who plays for Udinese. Really, really talented player. Had a really good season last year for Udinese, and he's been alerting a lot of teams around Europe. Arsenal said to be one of those teams very interested in him. 27, attacking midfielder. Reported fee could be 35 million, but it could be anything from 35 million to about 27 million. You know, there's sort of several sort of stats on the table regarding fees for him, but he is a very, very talented player. Leeds were really, really interested in him, but they seem to cool on him. Arsenal now said to be very, very interested in his signature. He's with the Argentinian squad at the moment. That's how good a season he had. Now, could this be the type of player that Arsenal maybe move for? We know that they missed out on Buendia. Maybe Rodrigo de Paul is the answer. As I said, Arsenal said to be interested in him, but we're going to have to wait and see how that one sort of pans out. There's another guy, Guido Rodriguez, who also plays his football. Sorry, no, he doesn't play football in Italy. He plays football in Spain for Real Betis. Again, another midfielder, holding midfielder this time. Again, 27. Reported fee around about £27 million. Arsenal linked with him today as well. With a move for him. We know that Granit Xhaka is on his way out of Arsenal. Granit Xhaka is going to be playing in a few hours' time for Switzerland against Wales, captain in Switzerland. So could this be a guy that could possibly come in to take the place of Granit Xhaka? Definitely looks like Arsenal on the lookout for a holding midfielder. The one that we'd all like to see is this guy, Yves Bissouma. Still only 24. Excellent in that midfield. We know all about him. We know us as Arsenal fans. We'd like to get him. The fee we're being told around about £40 million. Come on, Arsenal. For me, I know it's a lot of money, but it's what we need. And that's what I want us to spend the money on, what we need. But Yves Bissouma is still said to be a player that Arsenal are interested in. They're also interested in this guy, Joaquin Carrera of Lazio. 26, reported fee round about £17 million. Again, very, very talented player in the heart of that midfield, a player that could possibly be a replacement for Granit Xhaka. Of course, we're going to be looking for a replacement because Granit Xhaka is definitely going to be on the move. So could maybe Joaquin Carrera be a player that could come in? A link that I saw today, actually, on that, right, is I saw that Arsenal apparently got in contact with Manchester United to find out what are they doing with Donny van der Beek. Interesting. Arsenal might try and make a move for Van der Beek. Of course, he's hardly had any playing time at all at Manchester United. Obviously not rated by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but he's been an excellent player when he was at Ajax. You'll see him in the Euros for Holland. He's very, 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 very highly rated over there, but can't get into the Man United team. And Arsenal apparently made contact with United. Would United sell Van der Beek to Arsenal? I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be against that signing because I do think he's a quality player. But interesting one. Interesting to see if United would actually deal with Arsenal on that. And then there's this one. Reported yesterday by David Ornstein, who's, sometimes got some very good connections when it comes to Arsenal. Ben White, we've spoken about him a few times on the show. He's saying that, listen, Arsenal are definitely interested in signing Ben White. I got on here to report fee 50 million. No, it's not. It's not 50 million. Apparently, Brighton, what about 40 million for Ben White or more, right? Really talented centre-back. Previously, he was on loan at Leeds, had a brilliant time there. Leeds wanted to keep him. Brighton took him back. These are very heavy connections now with Ben White as a centre-back, which is very interesting. Do we need another centre-back? This is the one that I'm finding a bit strange, because when I was chatting to a few people yesterday, they were saying, yeah, but Robbie, he's coming on that right-hand side. That's sort of the problem side. We've only got Rob Holding who can play that side. And I'm like, well, hold on a minute. What about William Saliba? He can play on that right-hand side. If we get Ben White, and as I said, there's strong links to it, and there's Arsenal said to be interested in him, what does that tell us about? I mean, what are we going to do then with William Saliba? Is this kid just never going to get a chance? Is he so low in the ratings of Mikel Arteta that he just, because I honestly, I can't understand these links to Ben White. He's a quality player, Ben White. Quality player. But is that what we need right now? Because to me, if you've got Saliba, you've got Rob Holding, that's two right-handed, right-footed centre-backs. Then you've got Pablo Mari, you've got Mavropanos, you've got Gabriel. Can we concentrate on areas that we really need? That's my opinion. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Obviously, Ben White, quality player in the England squad for the first time. Very highly rated. His value is going to probably go up. But I don't know. I'm a bit surprised by it. But look, I'd love to hear what you... Listen, the more the better, I guess, in those positions. But I'm just wondering, what would happen to Saliba? Or would it be Holding that would go? I'm a bit confused by that whole link. IA says, just getting into some comments, he says, morning, Rob. Funnily enough, I sent a super chat to Turkish and Cecil about Rodrigo de Paul. He's an absolute beast and would cost, it's just disappeared there. It would cost about, I think he's going to say about the same amount as what Buendia would have cost. And Lubert says, Robbie, we need players like Rodrigo de Paul or players like a beast and hard work. And Rodrigo de Paul, as I said, has been getting very, very high ratings for his time over there. Eunice says, Joaquin Carrera for Granit Xhaka. They're not even close. Carrera is a winger. All right. Not according to some of the stuff that I was seeing, but listen, definitely Granit Xhaka needs to be replaced. Alex says, Robbie, I feel Ben White wouldn't be bad. It's definitely improvement on what Arsenal have, but I don't agree with the asking price. But yes, William should get a chance. William Saliba is on about. Arshal says, Saliba is just 19. He's got enough time to improve. Yeah, but so who goes then? Is it Rob Holding that will go? I'm a little confused by the link, honestly. Oliver says we need 3 quality centre-backs to compete for 2 spots. Okay. Haas says sell Holding. I think the 3 quality centre-back thing, remember next year we got no Europe. That squad has to be slimmer and trimmer. Not bloated, So to me, 2 centre-backs in, 2 right-handed centre-backs, 2 left, 2 on the left side, that's enough. Because we're just not going to have the volume of games to keep all of those players happy. Circus says Rodriguez is just another Xhaka. Divesh says Saliba is better than White. Chris 007 says we need squad depth, Robbie. Listen, we're not Man City right now, where we're going to be fighting on many fronts. I'm just thinking, listen, if we got Ben White in, fantastic. He's a quality player. I want to see, like you said, we need a great squad, Chris, right? We need players all over. But the reality of it with our owners is they don't want to spend the big money on the squad overall. So if that's the case, we need to concentrate on the areas that we really need. And if we've got Saliba there, I'm just saying, Ben White, it's a bit surprising for me. Yolo says, Ben White is everything. What's wrong with English football? I guess he means the price of Ben White, which would be very, very high. Listen, you have to play like what they call the English tax. Lubert says, Robbie, if we should get Basuma and DePaul, and if Arteta wants to play a 4-3-3, then the mid, we can have DePaul, Basuma, and Partey. Rodrigo is more also a creator. So some good information there, definitely. Kazi says DePaul is overrated, I think he means. Not built for the Premier League. Yanni says we keep signing centre-backs that never play. Saliba, Mavropanos, etc. That's very true. Very true. You know, Bristow says, unless they're selling holding. Again, you know, I'm a little confused by it. I'm not against it because Ben White is quality. Ben White is well sought after. Ben White is, you know, a player that's going to get bigger and bigger in the future. But I'm just a bit surprised by it. Krishnan says, Robbie, imagine if we buy Borelli or Locatelli. Wow, they ran the show yesterday. That Locatelli yesterday really impressed me. Again, will be a great player. But now that he's had that game, he was already highly rated before this, and he's one of the players that I was looking again. I really wanted to see what he'd be like, because, you know, I've been seeing all the ratings on him. I wanted to see what he'd be like. Now that he's put in that performance, the value just went up and up and up. That's why you got to try and buy these players before these tournaments starts. Major Brick says, I don't understand the skepticism of obtaining Ben White. We lost Luiz and Saliba has never played in the Prem, so it's a solid signing in my opinion. Major Bricks, I'm not against signing him. All I'm saying is that really, really what we need right now? I'm looking at other positions and I'm like, I want to see us spending big money in those positions. I'm looking at the right back position, you know? I'm looking at defensive midfield, which is something that we've just never, ever seemed to address. I want to see, you know, I want to see those positions addressed first. I really do. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not against the signing of Ben White. He's a quality player. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Jonathan says, Xhaka, Guendouzi, Torreira likely going. We need 3 serious upgrades instead of a centre-back. We have surplus. Get Basuma, Odegaard, Van der Beek, and Neves. And I'll tell you what, for me, if it comes down to it, it's like Ben White or Basuma. I want Basuma. Because we don't have a quality holding midfielder. And if Xhaka's going, so go and get Basuma first. That would be, you know, you go to Brighton, get Basuma. You know, that's my argument on this. It's not that he's not a quality player. Excuse me, Manuel Ferrara has made me laugh here with a super chat here. He says, Ben White is the English Mustafi. Pass it on. No. I saw when Mustafi got voted like one of the worst players in the Bundesliga last season. Oh my God, he was only there for 6 months. Ethan Lee says, we don't need Ben White right now. 2 midfielders and a right back is more important. Saliba needs a chance too. That's what I'm saying. Ethan, I agree with you 100%. 100%. You know? Evans says, Robbie Arsenal need to get their priorities right. This season will be a huge challenge. And he again, it's priorities. That's the right word to describe it. Priorities. Asher says Ben White can actually play in the midfield position. Played it for England and had a good game. Yeah, but well, we buying him to play. You know, Brighton don't play him as a holding midfielder, do they? They play Basuma there. Get Basuma. That's the type of player we need right now. That's the essentials. Go and get those done first, or Odegaard, or you know, these type of players. You know what I mean? Creative players. We need. I'm getting frustrated with it. Aspus List says Bissouma, Neves, Belotti, a centre-back and a CAM is what he would like to see. Aman says Rodrigo de Paul created 100+ chances in his last 3 seasons. Only player I can remember to do that is De Bruyne, Bruno, and Messi and Grealish. Right? So, you know, and we know that we lack creativity. Harvey says, I think Ben White could be useful because he plays in different positions, centre-back, CDM, right-back. But I've got to agree that Saliba needs to play. Callum Chambers can play centre-back, holding midfield, right-back. Honestly, I'm a bit... For me, as that guy said previously, priorities. Priorities I'm dealing with. Exhaustion says, we don't have a quality manager. How can we manage quality players? Laugh out loud. This is why we're mediocre players. We should have got Antonio Conte. Well, I agree with that one. I would have loved to have seen Antonio Conte at Arsenal just to change the whole philosophy of what's going on down there. And he's a quality manager. Yoki, sorry. He says, blow the whole budget on Jack Grealish. I don't even know the whole budget could buy Jack Grealish. From what I'm hearing, you know, Arsenal looking to spend. Kieran saying, I know Arsenal are thinking we need to replace David Luiz, but we don't need depth this season and we don't need centre-backs. Put me as the man who signs players for the club and I'll put a shift in. Well, you know what? You couldn't do any worse than what we've been seeing in recent times. Christian says, how is every other club selling players for a king's ransom and we're selling them for peanuts? What's going on with this club? Well, it's called our poor transfer business in times gone by. And that's why we're still paying the price right now. Let me get this one. It's a super chat here from Chaos Assassin. He said we should go for Lozano from Napoli, quality. Right, I think he's a winger, isn't it? Irving is it Lozano? Yeah, is that the same Lozano who used to be at is it at Feyenoord? I'm sure it's the same one. Gonna get a few more here. Imran says Conte rejected Spurs because they are not looking to spend huge. Imagine how the conversation would go with the Cronkies. Well, that's exactly it, and that's why they wouldn't try and go and get a manager like a Conte. Because Conte would want big money. And, you know, he wants to see ambition and, you know, he'd be a threat to them. They wouldn't want to see that. Thank you, TK Medits. It wasn't Feyenoord, it's PSV. That's right. And he is a quality player. He is a quality player. And only thing is, we've got a lot of players who play out wide in those positions. So I don't really think... you know, that's what's required right now. Ilhan says, Robbie, reliable sources say that Ben White isn't a replacement for Saliba, but rather to work alongside. I disagree with Ben White. We all want Bissouma, but Arsenal transfer, I guess. Would that mean then if Ben White, and I've seen that as well, was alongside Saliba, surely that means that Holding would be on the way out then, because surely they're not going to keep all 3. So... interesting, really interesting. FJ said we should buy Julian Brandt. Brandt, of course, from Borussia Dortmund, been linked with us for quite a while, was linked with us in the January transfer window. Craig Smith says, are we linked with Draxler yet? Every season, Julian Draxler. No. By the time we'll probably buy him, he's about 35. Or we buy Benzema about 6 months before he's about to retire. Mazim23 says, any news on Tyler Adams? No, just that Arsenal are said to be very interested in him as well. So, you know, that's the news really that's coming in on Tyler Adams. Akash says, these links frustrates me. No business, just links. Well, the transfer window did only just open, so we're going to have to be patient, I guess. Haas says, give Brighton 100 million for Ryan, White, Bissouma, and Lamptey. Look at some of the quality players that Brighton have. You know, Ben White, Bissouma, you know, Lamptey. All 3 of those would just walk into the Arsenal team, wouldn't they? And would add a bit of quality to it, you know, and they're all young. look at their transfer business in bringing in these type of players, you know, and the sort of money now that they've made on it. That's Arsenal need to learn a lesson from teams like Brighton. And Toria says, watch Edu get drink water from Chelsea. So he's obviously got no faith in Edu at all. Zubair says Çelik had a I'm saying Çelik. I was saying Çelik before, but Turkish reminding me that it's Çelik, right? Because I've got that little C at the bottom. Çelik had a shocking game last night. How are we linked with a man like this? Listen, this is the problem, right? When you're looking at tournaments, you can't just, if someone has an absolutely blinding game, everybody wants to buy him. And if someone has a shocker, no one wants to buy him. Listen, you can't buy a team based off of a tournament, because he could have a shocking game and still be a great player. And he could have a great game and be a poor player. We've seen that before in the past. So, you know, judge it over what he's done over a period of a season. Pac says, keeping my fingers crossed for Camavinga. That would be a great signing. The only thing I think with Camavinga is very similar in the way he plays to a Thomas Partey. So, again, great player, but is that what we need? Kwaku says they won't buy Bissouma due to their AFCON 22. Too many African players at Arsenal. Of course, that's the reason why he's referring to that, the African Cup of Nations in January, and Bissouma would be gone for a month. So, yes. Virgil van Dijk says, you man signing Turkish dons at Nest. Turkish, by the way, Turkish last night. If you haven't seen Turkish, well, I'm gonna have to give him a ring today to find out if he's all right. Serious, because after Italy smashed up Turkey, oh my god, man! If you saw him on the watch along, check out those watch alongs. They're over on the Don Robbie channel. We're doing a watch along to absolutely every game of the Euros. Turkish was he was hurt last night. He was triggered. He was in pain, man. I'm telling you, I felt it for him. I'm gonna do a couple more. Let's see this one here. Well, this is a bit left field. Booba says Arsenal need to go for Ibrahima Diallo from Southampton. Very good player, very talented. Arsenal will link with him before he actually went to Southampton to go into that midfield, but looks decent. But no, Bissouma. That's who we need to go for. And super chat here from Amit S. He says, Robbie, I agree with Bissouma. Having one CDM, removing the need for a double pivot will help with creativity like Liverpool have with Fabinho. And I think he's spot on there. Let me get one more. All right, where's it gone? Oh, there was going to be a nice one to kind of round off with one. Here it is. Bring back Ramsey, says Mystery 93. I'm not down with that, but I want to wish Aaron Ramsey all the best today. Of course, Wales are taking on Switzerland today. Granit Xhaka in action. Could be an ex-Arsenal player by the end of the Euros. But yeah, it's going to be really good to see that game, and all the best going out to Aaron Ramsey and to Granit Xhaka for that game. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. We'll be back I might come live again tomorrow, you know. I might come live again tomorrow. We'll start doing some more of these live shows to get you guys involved and find out what you guys are thinking about all the transfer activity. But thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV, like the video, and we'll be back tomorrow.